The relationship between extremism and modernity is one of the most debated questions in the social scientific study of religion. For much of the 20th century, the dominant assumption was the secularization thesis: as societies modernized, religion would decline and religious violence would wither. The 20th century disproved this assumption comprehensively. The Iranian Revolution of 1979, the rise of the Christian right in the United States, the emergence of Hindu nationalism in India, and the global spread of Salafi Islam all happened in tandem with rapid modernization, not before it. Sociologist Peter Berger, who had been one of the leading advocates of the secularization thesis, publicly recanted in 1999, concluding that modernity produces not the decline of religion but its intensification. As traditional certainties dissolve, religious communities that offer absolute certainty become more attractive, not less. Modernity breeds extremism through a specific psychosocial mechanism that researchers call significance quest theory. Developed by Ori Kruglansky of the University of Maryland, the theory proposes that humans have a fundamental need for significance, for feeling that their life matters, that they are respected, that they belong to something meaningful. When significance is threatened by personal humiliation, group discrimination, or the enemy of rapid social change, people seek to restore it. Extremist movements offer a specific and compelling path to restored significance. Your suffering is cosmic, your cause is divine, your sacrifice will be remembered. The mechanism is not purely religious. Secular totalitarianisms offered the same psychosocial product. The specific content of the ideology matters less than its structural features, a diagnosis of the problem: the community is under attack, a community of the faithful, who will fight alongside you, and a promise of transcendence: your actions will matter forever. The empirical evidence for the modernity extremism link is substantial but counterintuitive. Studies of ISIS foreign fighters consistently found that they were more educated, more urban, and more connected to Western culture than the average Muslim. Scholars like Oliver Roy have argued that this pattern, more exposure to modernity producing more susceptibility to extremism, reflects a specific dynamic. Second-generation immigrants to Western countries experience a double rejection: not fully accepted by the majority society, not fully connected to their parents' culture. That produces a crisis of identity resolved by adopting a globally uniform Salafi identity that transcends national origin. The data from European foreign fighter profiles support this analysis. The typical Western ISIS recruit was not a recent immigrant but a second-generation citizen, often with a history of petty crime, experiencing what researchers call identity foreclosure, the adoption of a rigid, simplistic identity as a defense against the complexity and ambiguity of modern life. The lesson of extremism and modernity is that the solution to extremism cannot be tradition, it must be a different kind of modernity. Communities cannot be protected from cultural disruption by insulation. The internet, global markets, and migration ensure that no community remains insulated. The question is what resources communities have to navigate that disruption without fracturing into extremism. Research on resilience against radicalization consistently identifies the same protective factors: strong family and community bonds, a sense of positive identity that does not require the demonization of others, economic opportunity, and political voice. These are not luxuries, they are structural prerequisites for preventing the conditions in which extremism flourishes. Governments that invest in community cohesion, anti-discrimination enforcement, and youth opportunity programs are making counter-extremism investments, even when they do not label them as such. Thank you for watching The Shadow of Extremism. Sources and references are on screen. Subscribe to follow the full series.